Can friends become enemies, then become friend again? Would you refriend somebody that used to be your friend and became your enemy? Or would you feel like, you know what, this person was capable to become my enemy, then he's not trustworthy? What do you think? Would you give them another chance? Would you give an old friend another chance after he messed up? Or maybe you messed up. You never know. I know we tend to think that only other people mess up because in our eyes, we are the good people. Would you give another chance to somebody who used to be close to you? Then you fell apart, fell away, and give them another chance to come back together? Or do you think it just becomes too dangerous? Well, you see this country right here. It's called Niger. And this man here is the prime minister. His name is Minister Ali Lamine Zaire of the country. This man is going to this country, Benin. Okay, and it's a shock. Why? Because the president of Benin and the president of Niger went at each other for a long time. For the past 3 years, they don't get along. Now, why is the prime minister, this man here, traveling to Benin if the two countries don't get along? Well, he's gone to Benin to attend to the inauguration of a brand new president of Benin. This is the older president of Benin, Patrice Talon, and this is the brand new president. Yes, Benin has elected a brand new president after 2 mandates or 2 running, whatever you call it in your country, I'm not sure. The former president, Patrice Talon, was president for 2 terms, okay? He said, I'm only gonna run for 2 terms. After my 2 terms, I am getting away. Unlike most African presidents, unfortunately, I need to tell you the truth. Most African presidents get crazy about power. They initially start well, like, okay, I'm just going to run 1 term or 2 terms. And once the 2 terms are done, he wants to extend his terms, unfortunately. Well, this man, Patrice Talon, said, I'm going to run for 2 terms and I'm done. He's gone away. Now, this is the brand new president. Mr. Ali Lamine Zaine, who is the prime minister of Niger, has traveled to Benin to have, show respect to the brand new president, also to show hope for the 2 countries. What kind of hope? Because the border between the 2 countries have been closed for the past 3 years. As you can see on the map, these are neighbors. They are brothers. They have families on the other side of the border. Yes, they have girlfriends and future husbands and business partners on the other side of the border. But because the 2 leaders of the countries don't get along, those people are supposed to suffer in millions. What discussion is being explored right now? There's a possibility to reopen the border. Okay? And this is great news. Congratulations, Pigama Coffee. Yeah, Pigama Coffee, that's great news. Pigama Coffee means clap your hand in Swahili. Swahili is the most spoken language in Africa. Most spoken African language in Africa. Swahili. All these countries here, they speak Swahili. Okay, let's get back on track. So, the Prime Minister of Niger has traveled to Benin. And Benin, unfortunately, is considered right now as enemy of Niger. Why? And this is something we need to understand. Number 1, July 2023, there was a coup d'etat. You know what coup d'etat is? When you overthrow the president without going through electoral processes with guns, okay? This was the older president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum. He was kicked out by this guy. This guy here, his name is Tiani. He's the president now. Well, he used to be the chief of guard of the previous president. That's another lesson. You need to be very careful who is your chief of guard and people you bring close to you. Anyway, let's get back on track. They took power over the previous guy. Why did they take power? They took power from him because he was too friendly with the French. Why was he friendly with the French? Because France has colonized the country. All these countries here were colonized by France. And France, because they colonized them, they feel like, you know what? We should have the first access to every good thing that you guys have. So if you have minerals, we should have first access, not anybody else. If you have fruit, we have first access, no one else. If you have whatever, we set the price of the market for you. This man, Mohamed Bazoum, used to live by those rules, but other people in the country were not happy. I mean, Bazoum didn't care. He was president. His family was wealthy. He didn't care how other people lived. Because Niger, even though it's a beautiful country and they have so many things, unfortunately, people don't profit from those things because of the collaboration they have with the France. Now, how is Benin the enemy of Niger? That's something we're going to find about. Again, number 2, the reason why the border was closed is because Niger when they have a coup d'etat at the time, when they kicked out the president, then Benin and other African countries were against that coup d'etat. So people of Niger say, we don't like our president because our president is a puppet of the French. Other African nations say, no, you cannot do that. You're not allowed to do that. We support that president who's supposedly a puppet of French. So after the coup d'etat, this group of countries, ECOWAS in West Africa, imposed heavy sanctions, including closure of border against Niger. So that's what I'm saying to you. I mean, brotherhood has nothing to do with skin color. I'm sorry. Brotherhood has to be proven. Yes, brotherhood has nothing to do with skin color. You have to prove you're my brother. Well, there were many reasons why they did that, but two of the reasons were, number one, you kicking out the president, it's dangerous because you're going to inspire our people to kick us out too as president. Therefore, we need to crush you. Number two, you kicking out the president who's a cooperant, a friend of France. We like being in a relationship with Europeans. You want to put the president who supposedly want to work for the people of Niger, but we don't want that. We want those people that are friendly with, black people that like pleasing Muzungus. You want to please Muzungu, but even if you hurt other black people, you don't care. As long as Muzungu's happy, you happy. That's exactly what happened. So all these countries here, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and other countries, all of these countries here stood against Niger, including Benin as well. They said, okay, we're going to punish you guys. It was Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. Remember, the three countries standing up saying we want to free ourselves. Okay? So Benin was among the countries that said, you know what? We're going to close the border and you're going to suffer. Now, how are you going to suffer? Look at the map. You see Niger, it's a landlocked country. Same as Mali and Burkina Faso. What's a landlocked country? A landlocked country is a country that doesn't have a border to the sea. They don't have beaches. They don't have water, like seawater. Why is seawater important? It's very important because when you want to export your goods, you need seawater. Why do you need it? Well, there are two ways of exporting and importing things. Now, countries that are landlocked usually have an agreement with countries that are next to the sea so they can pass their goods, their food, their medication, their everything through the other country's port with no issues. However, in this situation, these countries wanted to punish Niger. They decided to close the border. And that is how Niger was very disappointed. They were like, dude, we're supposed to be neighbors. You're supposed to be my brother, okay? You're closing the border on me, knowing that I have people that are sick in hospitals that need medicine and medication that most likely will come through the border, and you're still doing it? That was the reason why they closed the border. Niger responded also by keeping its border with Benin closed and accusing Cotonou of sheltering individuals hostile to the military regime. So Benin first closed the border. They wanted to punish Niger. Then Niger said, you know what? We are closing our sides too. Let's stay like that. And by the way, you are hosting people that are hostile to us. People that want to fight us and kill us. Now, as a result, the port of Cotonou, this one here, Niger's main access to the sea is now being avoided. Now, what happens with that? Things become very expensive. How? Because goods are now rerouted or rerouted. Rerouted or rerouted, depending if you're American or African. Goods, instead of going through, Benin, now have to go through Togo. You see Togo on the map? Yeah, Togo was nice to Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. Unlike all these other countries, Togo was nice. Okay, they were like, okay, we don't agree on political, but we're still brothers. We're not going to make you suffer. So these are two neighbors supposed to help each other, but now they hate one another because one neighbor, who's Benin, has a very good relationship with France, and Niger does not have that relationship with France anymore. France used to benefit a lot from Niger, get some of its minerals at a very cheap price, like this one here. It's called the yellow cake. It's called uranium. Uranium is very important for medicine. It's important for nuclear power, for atomic bombs, for electricity. You need uranium. And France used to extract uranium from Niger at a very cheap price. 1 kilogram at $0.8. And you got the very same quality of uranium from Canada. Guess for how much? A kilogram. $200 a kilogram. So $0.8 a kilogram for the poor black Nigerian and $200 for the Canadians. That shows you the level of disrespect. Now, Niger said enough, but Benin was a very good friend to the French. Now, the other reason was because Benin hosted French military. When Niger kicked them out, Benin accepted them. I mean, you are neighbors. You're supposed to be brothers. It's like, this one is my enemy. I'm making it very clear, but you're supposed to be my brother. You're now hosting him in your country. That's why there was resentment. Okay? Even though they're proposing to reopen the border, there are still mistrust between the two countries. On the Beninese side, Cotonou fears the infiltration of terrorist fighters from GNIM. Okay? These people are usually in the north of Benin. See on the map, they're into Niger. They've been creating havoc over there. Now, Benin feels like if you open the border, these people that are nasty are going to come into Benin. Well, Niger also fears that, they accuse Benin of allowing hostile to Niger transitional regime to settle there. So remember, when they kicked out the previous president, some of these loyalists ran away to Benin, and Benin hosted them and kept them. Now, Niger accuses Benin of hosting these people to prepare perhaps some further attack in the future.
This morning, the airbase
Listen
of
to
the
him.
Yori Hamani International Airport, more broadly speaking, was the primary target of a calculated and attempted infiltration by a group of mercenaries, specifically mercenaries who were being remotely directed from an external location. We are issuing a very firm and solemn reminder to the primary sponsors who are supporting these mercenaries, most notably the French President Emmanuel Macron, the Beninese President Patrice Talon, and the Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara. For a very long time, we have patiently listened to everything they had to say in the city of Bouaï. However, the time has finally come where it is now their turn to sit back and listen carefully to what we have.
And also remember, there are French soldiers that live in Benin for a long time. French military are based in Benin. Matter of fact, Benin also signed a contract with Americans. There are plenty of Americans that are now based in Benin, American soldiers. So Niger is against anything that's influenced by the West. Benin is still hosting them and have them right there. Matter of fact, there was an attempted coup in Benin a couple of months ago. Yes, some people were trying to do the very same trick that was done in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. But they actually were doing very good. But they overtook the TV. This is the TV station. They took the TV station to do a broadcast to say we are the new people in power because they had beaten the military of Benin on the ground. Guess what happened next? Well, reinforcement came from Nigeria and reinforcement by the French. They came into Benin, they bombed positions of these military to take over. So you can clearly see they apprehended these people and they arrested them. So you can see the reason why Niger would be, reluctant to allow its border to be open because there could be an infiltration. It's like you have a brother with whom you fought in the past or a friend. He became your pure enemy because he became now friend with your actual enemies. But then he comes back, hey, let's try fix this. As you can see, the Prime Minister of Niger has gone to Benin and he said something clear. He said this is a turning point. It's perhaps going to be a change between the two countries and have a much better relationship. Do you think this is going to work? Now, you must remember a brand new president does not necessarily mean a change of thinking because the brand new president is still a very good friend to the old president. It's not an opposition leader that's beat him through election. This is a brand new president that was very close to the previous president. Should we exclude any possibility that this brand new president can do things differently from the previous president? No, because presidents sometimes, even when they are mentored by somebody, can do things that are completely different. The example is with the Angolan president. This man here, Eduardo Santos, was in power for almost 30 years. Then he got this guy to become president. And when you get somebody to get you president, you become loyal to them. Well, this guy wasn't very loyal because the next thing he did once he became president, he went to arrest the previous president's daughter, accusing her of looting the country. This lady here, she was one of the richest women in the world. How did she become rich? So even though the president was assigned and elected and placed by his father, he turned on him. Is this the case we're going to see in Benin or not? Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. Can you forgive a brother that done you wrong in the past, hoping that the future will be better? God bless.